The galaxy was quiet, too quiet, far beyond the edges of the Empire's control. Stars sparkled like scattered diamonds in the endless blackness. Peace ruled most worlds, but fear lived in the hearts of those who knew the Empire's reach, a powerful force that crushed any planet that dared to resist. Yet, on the distant human colonies, life went on, simple, quiet, almost invisible to the eyes of the Empire. In the council halls of the Empire, grand and shining, the rulers spoke with pride. They believed humanity was weak, scattered, and harmless. "We have nothing to fear from them," said one admiral with a smug smile, while others nodded in agreement. They did not see the small signs, the hidden victories, the quiet innovations that humans were making. Each human colony had been secretly building, experimenting, preparing, and the Empire had never noticed. On the outer edge of explored space, a small human scout ship moved with silent grace, its sensors scanning the dark for any hint of danger. The commander of the ship, Captain Rena, was a quiet, intelligent woman. Under pressure, and she had a secret that even her crew did not fully understand. This was more than a scout mission. It was the first step toward something that could change the galaxy forever. Meanwhile, the Empire's fleet moved with arrogance. Hundreds of massive ships, gleaming and powerful. They had conquered systems with ease, yet they were blind to what was coming. On a remote observation post, sensors picked up an unusual energy pattern, something massive, moving at a speed no one expected. The readings were unclear, but the officers at the post reported immediately to the High Command. "It could be nothing," said the general, "just space debris," but the worry in his voice betrayed him. Back on human worlds, secret fleets were preparing, hidden in asteroid fields and uncharted nebulae. Ships were silent, engines off, cloaking shields up. Men and women moved with purpose, loading weapons, calibrating systems, and testing every device. It was not just a fleet. It was humanity's hope, a secret power waiting for the right moment to emerge. The Empire laughed at the idea that humans could gather such strength. "They are primitive," one admiral said, "no threat to us." Yet the whispers of fear had already started in the corners of the council rooms. Rumors had spread, strange signals intercepted, unknown fleets reported. Nothing concrete, but enough to unsettle the most confident leaders. Captain Rena and her crew approached a dark region of space, where stars were rare, and the emptiness seemed infinite. Sensors were picking up strange energy fluctuations, a puzzle only humans could solve. She gave orders calmly. "Prepare the fleet," her voice steady, yet behind her eyes, there was a spark, a hint of excitement, the thrill of the unknown. Her crew followed without question, trusting her as the one who understood the secrets hidden in the void. In the Empire's capital, alarms suddenly rang, unusual readings flashing across massive screens. Commanders stared in disbelief, their confidence fading. The reports were fragmented, incomplete, but one thing was clear: something big was coming, something the Empire had not seen before. They looked at each other in silent fear, a feeling they had never allowed themselves to feel before. And in the darkness, beyond the eyes of the Empire, the first signs of humanity's secret fleet moved like shadows, waiting for the moment to strike, to reveal that the quiet, underestimated species had been planning for this day. The day when the galaxy would realize that humans were not weak, not small, not to be ignored. The stars seemed to hold their breath as the first human ships edged closer, and the Empire, proud and arrogant, was about to discover a secret that would change everything. The Empire's council was in chaos, alarms ringing across the massive halls, screens flickering with strange, unexplained energy readings. Admirals and generals shouted over each other, but no one could explain what was coming. "It cannot be," said one officer, staring at the display. "Humans do not have fleets this large." Yet the evidence was undeniable. Patterns in space showing mass movement far beyond any human colony the Empire had ever seen. Meanwhile, in the hidden corners of human space, the secret fleet was alive with activity. Ships moved with precise coordination, engines glowing faintly, cloaking shields keeping them invisible to enemy sensors. Captain Rena walked through the command deck of the flagship, her steps quiet but confident. She observed her officers with calm eyes, each one ready, trained, and loyal, knowing that the fate of humanity rested on their actions. Signals were sent across the fleet, encrypted codes no one outside could understand. Every ship responded instantly, small lights blinking like stars in the dark, showing that the humans were ready. They had waited for this moment for years. building ships in secret, training pilots, creating weapons the Empire could never imagine. And now, the time had come to reveal their power. Back in the Empire, the Council tried to maintain control, yet whispers of fear spread quickly. Could they have hidden this for so long? One general asked, voice low, as if speaking too loudly might summon the threat closer. The Emperor himself sat in silence, eyes narrowing at the reports, pride battling worry. For never before had humans shown even a hint of strength that could threaten the Empire. On a distant scouting station, Empire officers reported sudden disappearances of probes and satellites. Strange energy bursts that defied all known science. Panic began to creep into the ranks. As each officer realized they had been blind for too long. Prepare all fleets for potential attack, the Emperor ordered, his voice calm but carrying a weight that made everyone shiver. They did not yet know the scale of what awaited them. In the human fleet, tension mixed with determination. Every captain knew that one mistake could end everything, yet no fear showed on their faces, only focus and unity. Rina stepped onto the observation deck, looking out into the dark expanse, a sea of stars reflecting the faint lights of her fleet. Soon, the galaxy will see what we are capable of, she said quietly, almost to herself, the words carrying a promise of power and survival. The Empire sent scouts, massive warships racing toward the reported coordinates, sensors scanning for the hidden fleet. Yet every attempt to locate the humans failed. Ships returned with incomplete data, often reporting nothing at all. Frustration grew, doubt spread. The once confident Empire began to sense the unseen enemy moving with unmatched precision. Back on the human flagship, engineers worked tirelessly, adjusting weapons, calibrating shields, preparing for the first encounter. Pilots trained on sea, practicing maneuvers no Empire fleet could anticipate. Each movement was deliberate, each decision carefully planned. A dance of strategy the Empire had never imagined. As the fleets drew closer, the tension was almost unbearable. The Empire could feel a storm coming, something massive, something they had ignored for too long, and in their arrogance, they had assumed humans would never rise. Meanwhile, Rina gave the final command, hold position, wait for the moment, we strike when the time is right. Her crew understood, every heartbeat echoing the suspense, every eye on the unknown darkness ahead, and in the silent void of space, the humans remained hidden, unseen, yet powerful. The first movements of a fleet that could change the balance of the galaxy. The Empire's confidence began to crumble, replaced by unease, by fear, by a realization that they had misjudged humanity entirely. And the first chapter of this confrontation was about to begin. A storm of suspense, strategy, and secrets waiting to explode. The void of space seemed endless, silent, and dark, yet within it, something was moving. A shadow among the stars that no Empire sensor could fully detect. Then, suddenly, the human fleet appeared, rising from the hidden corners of space like a storm. Thousands of ships, sleek and deadly, spread across the darkness, engines glowing faintly. A vision that no one had imagined. In the Empire's command hall, alarms screamed, red lights flashing everywhere, screens showing readings that officers could barely comprehend. What is that? A young admiral whispered, voice trembling. This cannot be possible. The Emperor's eyes widened, pride replaced with fear, for he saw the scale of humanity's secret fleet, ships numbering in the thousands, each one armed with technology the Empire had never seen. The human flagship led the formation, a massive ship that gleamed even in the dark, surrounded by smaller cruisers, fighters, and support vessels. Each ship moved with perfect coordination, a silent dance of deadly precision. Captain Rina stood on the observation deck, watching as her fleet emerged from hiding, calm and confident, knowing the Empire would be stunned. Empire commanders rushed to organize a response, but confusion ruled. Ships scrambled, orders shouted, yet no one knew where to strike first. The sheer size of the fleet was overwhelming, and every sensor confirmed what the Emperor feared most. Humanity had been hiding power beyond imagination, a fleet capable of changing the galaxy. The first human ships moved forward, not in haste, but with careful strategy, slipping past some Empire patrols, striking weak points without warning. Even the fastest Imperial ships struggled to keep up, their confidence shattered, their weapons fired. But the humans anticipated every move, dodging with precise calculations, showing skill and intelligence that left the Empire commanders speechless. From the observation deck of the Empire's flagship, the Emperor watched, disbelief in his eyes. He could not understand how humans, whom they had dismissed as primitive, had built such a massive, advanced fleet. Each ship, each maneuver, was a message. The underestimated species was not weak, not small, not to be ignored. In the human fleet, excitement was hidden beneath discipline. Pilots following every command with unwavering focus, engineers monitoring systems, ensuring weapons and shields were ready for the moment of battle. Captain Rena spoke to her crew, voice calm yet firm. The Empire will remember this day. Stay sharp, stay ready. Her words were simple, but they carried the weight of preparation, courage, and the thrill of revealing their power. Empire scouts sent back desperate reports, showing flashes of human ships, energy signatures that no one could match. Panic rising in every command center. They are everywhere. A general shouted, voice cracking, as humans struck targets that had seemed secure. The Empire realized too late that they had ignored humans for too long, that their arrogance had blinded them to the truth. In the midst of the void, the first real clash had not yet begun. Yet the Empire already felt the shock, the horror of underestimating humanity. The fleet had revealed itself, magnificent and terrifying, and the galaxy would never see humans the same way again. Ships moved like living shadows, silent and deadly, a warning to any who dared to underestimate the species. Captain Rena looked out one last time at the fleet, her calm eyes reflecting the distant lights of the stars. The Empire will learn, she said quietly, almost to herself. The human fleet, ready, waiting for the first strike, a secret power revealed at last, a storm of change descending upon a complacent galaxy. And in the Empire, pride had vanished, replaced with fear, disbelief, and a dawning respect for humanity, hidden and underestimated for so long, had shown its true strength. And the war for the galaxy had just begun, leaving the Empire to stare in horror, knowing that everything was about to change. The silence of space was shattered by the sudden roar of energy weapons, beams of light cutting across the dark, explosions lighting distant stars. The Empire's fleet tried to respond, but chaos ruled. Orders were shouted, ships scrambled, yet every move seemed anticipated, as if humans had predicted their every action. Captain Rena watched calmly from her flagship, her eyes scanning the battlefield. Every human ship followed the plan perfectly, dodging fire, striking weak points, moving with precision that made the Empire hesitate. Even the largest Imperial battleships struggled to react, their heavy guns missing targets by mere meters. Small human fighters darted between giant warships, fast and nimble, hitting critical systems and vanishing before the Empire could retaliate. Pilots executed maneuvers no one had imagined, showing skill, courage, and intelligence that made the Empire commanders panic. Engineers on both sides monitored systems frantically, but the humans had prepared for every scenario, their ships' shields adapting to attacks almost instantly. The Empire's flagship fired its main cannons, massive energy beams tearing through space, yet human ships moved with such coordination that few were hit. Some smaller Imperial ships were destroyed, but the humans remained mostly unharmed. Their secret technology and strategy were paying off, a demonstration that they were more than just survivors, they were masters of the battlefield. Explosions rocked the void, debris drifting silently as a grim reminder of the stakes. Yet the human fleet never wavered, each ship executing orders with perfect timing. Their communication was seamless, unspoken yet understood, showing a unity the Empire could not comprehend. Captain Rena directed movements like a conductor of a deadly symphony, every strike purposeful, every defense perfect. Empire officers shouted, panic spreading like wildfire. We cannot hold them, one general cried, seeing yet another battleship crippled by precise human attacks. Confidence had vanished, replaced by fear, disbelief, and frustration. The humans had taken the initiative, and the Empire was being forced into a reaction. Struggling to survive, amid the chaos, a squadron of human cruisers struck at the Empire's supply lines, disabling support ships and isolating the frontline battleships. This move was unexpected, bold, and perfectly timed, showing that humans did not just fight, they outsmarting an enemy who had always believed itself superior. Captain Rena's calm voice came over the comms. Hold formation, focus, we are in control. Her crew felt the confidence radiate, fueling their courage as the battle raged. The Empire tried to regroup, but every maneuver was countered, every weakness exploited. Human ships moved like shadows, striking where least expected. Their weapons were precise, their shields strong, their speed unmatched. The galaxy had never seen such skill, and the Empire felt the sting of its own arrogance. In the heart of the battle, the Empire's flagship was cornered, massive warships surrounding it, yet the humans did not gloat. They executed calculated strikes, keeping their fleet intact. It was a lesson in strategy, patience, and superiority. Humans were proving that, even against overwhelming odds, intelligence and preparation could triumph over sheer size. Captain Rena watched as the Empire faltered, her eyes steady, knowing that the first major confrontation was going in their favor. Yet she also knew the battle was not over. The Empire was wounded, but not defeated, and the next moves would decide the fate of entire systems. The clash continued, fire and light tearing across the stars, a testament to human determination, courage, and secret strength. And in the Empire, fear had become certainty. Every officer realizing that they had misjudged humanity entirely. The galaxy would never be the same, and the humans, hidden for so long, had shown that they were a force to be reckoned with, a power that would define the wars to come, leaving the Empire shaken, desperate, and on the brink of true fear. The dust of battle slowly settled in the void, sparks of destroyed ships floating silently among the stars. The Empire's fleet was in retreat, battered, confused, and humbled. Their once mighty confidence had been shattered by a species they had ignored for centuries. Captain Rena watched from her flagship, calm and steady, knowing that victory was theirs, yet showing no sign of pride. Humans had proven something important, not just strength, but intelligence, unity, and foresight. The fleet moved together like a single organism, every ship in sync, every maneuver perfect. The Empire had underestimated them, believing humans were small, weak, and unprepared. Yet now the galaxy would see the truth. Reports came in from every corner of the battlefield. Empire ships damaged, retreating, unable to fight the humans effectively. Their weapons had been no match for human tactics, their shields no match for advanced technology. Every commander in the Empire knew that this was not a minor defeat, but a lesson written in fire and steel. On the human side, crews celebrated quietly, relief and pride mixing with exhaustion. Pilots and engineers had worked together flawlessly, executing a plan that no one outside humanity had predicted. Captain Rena moved among them, her presence calm, reassuring, her words simple but powerful. "We did what was necessary. Humanity is safe." For now, her crew nodded, knowing the truth of her words, that this was only the beginning. The Empire's capital received the news, and shock rippled through the halls. Senators and officers whispered in disbelief. Never before had humans shown such power, such skill. Such a small species, underestimated and hidden for so long, had not only survived, they had won, and the galaxy would never forget it. Yet humans did not gloat. They did not chase the retreating Empire. Their fleet withdrew slowly, strategically, leaving the Empire to ponder its mistakes. The lesson was clear: underestimate humans at your own peril, and the galaxy had learned it the hard way. Captain Rena gazed out at the stars, thinking of all the hidden colonies, all the ships waiting in silence, ready for the day humanity needed them again. They had remained unseen for decades, planning, preparing, and now the secret was revealed, but always with purpose, patience, and restraint. The Empire, humbled and wary, would rebuild, but the fear remained. The galaxy had changed, forever altered by the revelation of humanity's secret fleet. No longer could humans be ignored, dismissed, or underestimated. The balance of power had shifted, subtly yet profoundly, leaving the Empire in a new reality, one of respect, fear, and uncertainty. In quiet human worlds, life continued as usual. Ordinary yet extraordinary, people went about their days, unaware of the silent power that protected them. Their fleets had acted, their leaders had planned, and the galaxy had witnessed the beginning of a new era, an era where humanity, small but clever, could face any threat, overcome any challenge, and prove that they belonged among the stars. Captain Rena's voice echoed quietly in her mind. "We fight for survival, for knowledge, for hope." And as the fleet disappeared into the uncharted depths of space, the Empire could only stare, knowing that this hidden species had changed everything, that humanity had claimed its place in the galaxy, not through arrogance, but through skill, courage, and unity. The stars seemed brighter that night, a silent witness to the secret power of humanity. The Empire would recover, but they would never forget. The galaxy had learned that the smallest, quietest voices could carry the greatest strength, and that the humans, hidden for so long, had emerged victorious.